Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News in high definition.
A sweeping raid on an outlaw motorcycle gang. Dozens of bikers arrested from Southern California to Ohio. The charges against them range from drug sales to murder. Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
I'm Michelle Tuzzi. This is the result of a 3-year undercover investigation in which federal agents infiltrated the Mongols motorcycle gang. Eyewitness News reporter Micah Ullman is live in downtown Los Angeles with more on the sweeping raids. Micah?
The federal racketeering indictment, the product of a years-long and intense undercover investigation by federal agents, L.A. County Sheriff's deputies, the Montebello Police Department, and Las Vegas Metro cops in what is being described by the feds as perhaps the single biggest takedown ever by the ATF. Busted from the top down, federal agents say the violent Mongols outlaw motorcycle gang has been dismantled by a massive series of pre-dawn raids across the country, many here in Southern California.
This indictment does much more than simply disrupt a violent criminal organization. We believe it puts a stake in the heart of the Mongols.
61 members now under arrest from what the feds say is a gang 600 members strong across the country, with roots in Montebello dating back to the 1970s. The federal racketeering indictment seeks the forfeiture of the trademarked Mongols name and tags the Mongols as a criminal enterprise guilty of murder, hate crimes, firearms violations, and drug trafficking.
This morning we arrested the recently banished leader of the Mongols, Ruben Doc Cavazos, as well as his son and other top members of the gang's mother chapter. Agents this morning seized 86 firearms, including assault weapons, and 5 LAPD badges.
A bust not possible, say the feds, without the undercover work of the 4 ATF agents who infiltrated the gang to become full-patch members, undergoing rigorous scrutiny by the Mongols and during polygraph examinations. 4 female ATF agents then went undercover, posing as the agents' girlfriends.
4 years is a long time to live a dual identity. It was a very stressful environment, living that dual life, not only for the undercovers, but for their families.
Really a historical moment in law enforcement. When you look back at all the undercover cases in the past, you look at, Donnie Brasco, Joe Pistone, you look at Frank Serpico. This is going to go down in the history of law enforcement with these ATF agents going undercover.
121 arrest warrants, 86 counts, if followed by convictions, could send many of those arrested today to prison for life. Live in downtown Los Angeles, Micah Ullman reporting ABC7 Eyewitness News.
On this episode of Albuquerque Gangland, we'll be profiling the motorcycle club, or MC, the Mongols. These guys are a hardcore group, man, very lethal. They were the Mongols Motorcycle Club, sometimes called the Mongols Nation or Mongol Brotherhood, is a 1%er outlaw motorcycle club. The club is headquartered in Southern California, and was originally formed in Montebello, California, East LA, in 1969. Law enforcement officials estimate that there is way over 5,000 members, fully patched members in the club. Their main presence, like I said, is from East LA and in Southern California, but they also have chapters nationwide in 14 states, internationally in over 11 countries. And yeah, man, these guys, they get the Mongol tattoo with the guy on the bike there, and they're no joke. These guys are a major part of the Albuquerque underworld, Albuquerque Gangland. That's why I put them on here. They moved in on the Banditos. As I said, the Banditos were the original club. But these guys went ahead and pushed in on the Banditos and made their own chapters. They got a couple chapters there in New Mexico. And they're deep, around 1,000 members, more or less. And these are these guys here, riding through the streets of Albuquerque. And they also have no fear. These guys have a mean reputation of being ruthless, of having weapons all the way back from military weapons, connections in all the drug cartels. This is them riding through the heart of Albuquerque, downtown here. You see the big buildings there. And these guys will go to war with Mongols MC Club, and they also go to war with Banditos. Like I said, they moved in on the Banditos, no problem. and established their own chapters here. You know, there's some pictures of a bunch of guys from the Albuquerque chapter. And again, these guys are fearless, as you can see. You know, they get the ink on them. They get the Mongols Nation tattooed on them, what's on their patch, you know. And this is a picture here of one of their co-founders that they have on their patch. And I also have an interview coming up next. Make sure you guys stick around with that. That's an interview with one of the original co-founder of the Mongols, and he can give a little better explanation on the history of the Mongols. But again, yeah, these guys are a major force in the Duke City, we call it. It's called the Duke City, and you'll see it on a lot of their patches. Duke City being the Duke of Albuquerque from the 1700s. Again, yes, so this is the Duke City, or the Southwest chapter of the Mongols Nation, or the Mongols MC Club. You know, they got a bunch of businesses, restaurants, and home bases, you know, garages all over Albuquerque, and they're fearless, you know. Got a funeral at the end of this video of one of their main guys from the chapter here in Albuquerque. And like I said, again, these guys are a force to be reckoned with. They can hold their own with any car clubs, MC clubs, or any street entities in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and throughout the Southwest. Again, just to give another quick little background on these guys, you know, they do the black and white patches. They represent. Yeah, so this is the Albuquerque chapter, the Southwest Duke City chapter, you know, of the Mongols Biker Gang, or MC Club, you know, which in East Los Angeles in the 1960s, you know, and the Mongols are mostly known and frequently commit violent crimes, including assault, intimidation, and murder in defense of their territory and to uphold the reputation of the club. You know, it's a one percenter club, and they're known, one of their, you know, their things is MFFM. MFFM, which is, you know, Mongols Forever. Forever Mongols. And like I said, in Albuquerque, these guys mostly beef with the Bandidos and the Vagos. But the Vagos and the Bandidos actually are the two that have the main rivalry there. You know. Again, it's going to be the 1% Outlaw Club. Albuquerque chapter. Albuquerque Gangland. These guys hold their own in the streets of Albuquerque and New Mexico. It's another video of them riding right through the heart of Albuquerque. Showing their territory. Showing no fear amongst other clubs and street gangs. Got a couple interviews coming up next. Another video of a funeral and them riding. So you guys make sure you tap in and check that out. Mongols MC Club, Albuquerque and Southwest, Duke City chapters. These guys' motto is respect few, fear none. And they're formed as a Hispanic rival, sort of, to the infamous Hell's Angels Motors Club. That's going to be their number one rival. And this is the Albuquerque chapter, riding through their territory. You see the New Mexico patches here on the back of their leathers. Bunch of them, you know, they're deep. Over 1,000 members in the Southwest alone.
Mr. D'Angelo was back like a motherfucking demon, ripping wings off angels just to hear him start screaming. If I had a fucking soul, guaranteed it'd be billion 505 Merkle Max, and I ain't never leaving thick clouds of smoke. It's the air that I'm breathing, got demons in my sleep, so you know I fucking need it. Take a hit to the dome, now I'm feeling kinda weeded. Mike Jackson on the track, cause you know I fucking beat it. Beat it like a big dog, baby, ball and make it bank. Cook it up, chop it up, it's gone before you blink. Stack your chips, smoke your weed, sip your drink. Everything I do is like money in the bank. I got money in the bank and weed in my pocket. And when I'm on the mic, you know that I rock it. From over here, I can see a lady jockey. Mr. D'Angelo 505, I ain't stopping. 505, we reppin' New Mexico. This is where I live and I'm never gonna go. In the city, in the Duke, with the motherfucking gang.
like a plague in the ball of stack that dough.
505, we rapping in the backseat.
This is where I live and I'm never gonna go.
In the city of the Duke with the motherfucking gangsters.
For the players like a plague in the ball of stack that dough.
Got my windows rolled down with the Glock in the ride. CD in the deck and you know it's bumping 505. If you're from Albuquerque, you know we keeping it live. With the dark tinted windows and the wheels on the side. Riding slow and mean, kicking back with the lead. And we staying fucking high, yeah you know what I mean. So if you ever see me rolling in, boom, get down.
I'm reminiscing, hearing gunshots, gunshots. I'm reminiscing and the memories don't stop. Turn the page, some things change, some stay the same. You will remember us. I'm reminiscing, hearing gunshots, gunshots. Reminiscing on how we got things locked. From B-Town to BK, we paved the way. You will remember us.
Let's go on a little mission and drive through the streets of drugs, money, and sex. Look, you're seeing the addiction fiends being these are snitching teens with babies in their tummies, young dummies with texts, intoxicated yells for help. A block away from hell, locked away in cells, riding cops, hooked on Oxycontin themselves, laying us down. Their pretty pistol sounds, swine pigs sniffing lines with their city issued nines behind closed doors. Turned my blueprint into a black print. My accent became a trademark, killing this rap thing.
Yo, Plain, I met you through our man Mike. He was a crazy brother. Recipes to BM and not your baby's mother.
I walk the streets with two hips, you stay on two knees. Our syndicate is full of true G's, your groupies. I reminisce, I think it might have been 96 when me and Freddie Madball did that grimy shit.
I'm reminiscing, hearing gunshots, gunshots. I'm reminiscing and the memories don't stop. Turn the page, some things change, some stay the same. You will remember us. I'm reminiscing, hearing gunshots, gunshots.
Let's roll down in your chick by my side, cause you know how I ride from back side to side. This is for the 505. If you represent the level, throw your fives in the sky, cause I'm super sad, super till the day that I die. And we be rolling hard up and down the boulevard. If you try to act a fool, bitch, we'll pull your fucking card. And no, this ain't no game, bitch, we'll leave your ass in pain with a bullet in your dome straight through your window pane. 505, we rapping in the backseat.
This is where I live and I'm never gonna go.
In the city of the Duke with the motherfucking gangsters.
For the players like a plague in the ball of stack that dough.
505, we rapping in the backseat.
This is where I live and I'm never gonna go.
In the city of the Duke with the motherfucking gangsters.
For the players like a plague in the ball of stack that dough.
Kicking back in the park on a Sunday afternoon, smoking weed with the homies and we drinking up on brew, chasing all the little honeys cause there's nothing else to do. In this crazy Buka town we live in, we just chillin', kicking back, smoking on a fat sack. Haters wanna talk smack, but I say fuck that. Lay you on your back quick if you wanna talk shit. Mr. Dang.
What you looking at? God, he's worried. He's worried because he's sending people like me. My name is Big Aliceus. I'm the co-founder of the Mongol Nation. If you ever see the patch, they made the patch after me. The second patch. I met this guy and his sister was with an older convict, a real convict, and you know, he gave us the game and he gave us the guns and you know, we'd divide the money. We'd go in, he'd wait outside and we'd go in. And once they turned around, you pull the gun and they would see that it's cocked. You take them in the back, tie them up, go, and one guy would be on the register and the other guy be tying them up in the back. Like that, and we take the money, and if you wanted cigarettes or whatever, you get them on the way out. The older guy was in the car waiting for us. He was teaching us the game of armed robbery at 15. Somebody pulls a knife, and then somebody gets stabbed. You know, as time goes on, then people started getting guns, and they started shooting. You know, and then, I mean, they went through that era where they would do that drive-by shooting. You know, they had all those automatics until word came down from the prisons, you know, no more drive-bys because innocent people were getting killed. What the prison says, it's mostly the law, because if you go against them, then all the gangs go against you. And they'll come for you. In the street gang, all the guys that were in my little section, or most of them are in jail or dead. I got hit 3 times. I went back. And they didn't let me stay the full time. They sent me home. They said I was nuts. So when I came home, you know, my wife was already with another man. My son was being raised by my mother-in-law. My mom and dad didn't want me. They said I was nuts. So I figured, what am I going to do to get money? Right away, I thought, well, I'll go to school, get some money, right? And then start dealing, do something, rob somebody. So I went to school. I ended up closing the school. You know, I ended up closing the school. I ended up opening a free college on Saturdays. I ended up helping the Brown Berets open up a free clinic. You know, I was with them when they took a town. I marched them into the town up north. You know, I mean, they would say, we're gonna do something. I did it. When the police set me up to kill me, one of the Brown Berets was a cop, and he picked us up, me and a friend of mine, and he had guns in the car. And I was laughing, looking, so what are you gonna do with these guns, dummy? He goes, no, we're gonna go to Safeway, and I want you to shoot out the windows. And I started laughing. I said, what? And it was at night. So I said, you know what? Went and bought some milk, emptied it, filled it up with gas, put a rag in it, went to Safeways. I threw the bottle on the window, blew up, boom, ran, left. They caught me a few blocks away, beat me up, put me in jail. But the cop told me we were gonna kill me. So if I would have shot that gun, they would have killed me and said he was shooting at us. That cop set me up. No, he was a hero and all that because he set up a lot of people. The grand jury had just indicted me. And they were looking for me again. I had got out on bail. They were looking for me. And these guys were getting together. They were going to join a club. So one day they asked me, they said, why don't you come with us, Al? Meet these guys. Because I was in pretty good shape. So I said, yeah, let's go, man. I didn't want to go because they were looking for me. But I went. And when we went there, this guy made a racist remark, and I told my friend, you know what, man, we ain't gonna join it. And they went and sent for this big old guy. I beat this guy before he got off his bike. He didn't have a chance. And then after he went in, them guys said, oh, we're gonna give you our patch. So you guys, I said, we don't want it. We're gonna start our own club. And that's what we did. You know, and the reason they got the name Mongols, it's because they had conquered the known parts of the world at one time. So in black and white is because of the sheriff's cars. Black and white. And we used to fight with them all the time. And that's how we started in '69. I had just come home, I was nuts. I didn't know, the sad part, I didn't know I was nuts. But everybody else did. I used to wear a chain around my waist, a primary chain, it's a motorcycle chain. And it had a big buckle, and I just got it and started hitting him in the face. I took half of his face off. You'd say, hey man, let's rob that guy. I'd rob him. Let's beat him up. I'd beat him. Let's stab him. I'd stab him. We're gonna do this over here. Let's do it. When in East LA, when we were marching the first time down Whittier Boulevard, and we went to the park, they have a park there, Laguna Park. All the police were there. And I was carrying a sign with a 2x4. I took that sign off and started fighting the police. with a 2x4. Well, a cop that was a highway patrol that knew me came, parked his bike right there, came when I was fighting. He goes, man, they're gonna kill you, Al. Run. So I got to the other side, I got away. I remember one time this guy owed money and we went in his house in Vegas and I had two guys with me. And I was talking to him kind of like in his bedroom, door was open and you could see the two guys sitting on the couch. And he had this jewelry box full of gold and diamonds. And he owed a lot of money. And I looked and he had it open and he reached over and closed it and pulled it towards him. And I started laughing. I said, you think I came for that bullshit? I said, brother, you're gonna pay now or when you come back. And he said, come back, where am I going? To the hospital. Because those guys are gonna help me, we're gonna beat you. And if anybody comes, we're gonna beat them too. And let them know why they're getting beat. Because you owe money. The money he owed, he went and bought himself a new Mercedes. His sister brought it. I told my friend, take it. And I stayed there till this guy, I stayed there till they left and I told him, did you call the cops? I said, you might get me, you might get the guy driving, but we'll be back. We'll be back. I had made an agreement.
Sipping on a 40, getting high as fuck. Listening to the jams bumping out the trunk. On a hot summer day, with your lady by my side. It could never be wrong, cause it feels so right. And we keep this party cracking and banging and booties bouncing in the sticky rain. Bitch, you know we got it by the ounces. So hit me up quick if you want some bud. Or maybe just some of this Chicano love. 505, we rep in New Mexico.
This is where I live and I'm never gonna go.
In the city, in the Duke, with the motherfucking gangsters.
Where the players like to play and the ball stack that go.
505, we rep in New Mexico.
Mongols we ride, with my brotherhood by my side. 1% of rent till we die, everybody knows. Mongols we ride, with my brotherhood by my side. 1% of rent till we die, everybody knows.
Cause I'm black and white nation, Mongol 1%er. I stand with my brotherhood / co-offenders. We bout them good times, showing love in every benders. We party hard to the point you won't even remember when Charlie on tap to pick you up, man, whenever. And climb aboard our ship, cause we call it the Endeavor. And destination set it low key, wherever. As long as it's black and white, cause we always doing the better right. Got the Louis Vuitton bag hanging off the shoulder. Use it as a wallet, but I use it as a holster. We live the real GTA without any controllers. We get your team on sight, then I promise you it's over like 12 gauge 9 mil, pointing out the rover. You call yourself an angel, say a prayer, this is slaughter. You get one last call to your wife, son, and your daughter. I told you this is Mongol Nation, and we're taking over like
Mongols we ride, with my brotherhood by my side. 1% of rent till everybody knows. Mongols we ride, with my brotherhood by my side. 1% of rent till we die, everybody knows.
respect you, fear none, that's the pinnacle. You playing tough in the group, we're solid individuals. Fuck your biblical, we're OGs, original. Brotherhood, cynicals, and goddamn beautiful. Got more supplies than the country's pharmaceuticals. Taking over NZ, don't tell me this is new to you. Wanna rip our colors, then I'm telling you to prove it too. This a fucking 1% of everybody fear our crew. Fuck the coppers, man, they always causing shit. Reminds me of a clooney bitch that wants to suck my dick. Instead, busy uniform and snorts like a pig. And blazing flashing lights in the car like a kid. Ha! Free the brothers out the pen. And doing us a sign of real riders to the end. It's black and white nation, Mongols 1%. You fuck with our brotherhood, you bout
with my brotherhood by my side. 1% of rent till we die. Everybody knows. Mongols we ride. With my brotherhood by my side.
rip till we die. Mongols we ride, with my brotherhood by my side. 1% of rip till we die. Everybody knows. Mongols we ride, with my brotherhood by my side. 1% of rip till we die. Everybody knows. Cause I'm black and white nation, Mongol 1%er. I stand with my brotherhood / co-offenders. We bout them good times, showing love in every benders. We party hard to the point you won't even remember when Charlie on tap to pick you up, man, whenever. And climb aboard our ship, cause we call it the Endeavor. And destination set it low key, wherever. As long as it's black and white, cause we always doing the band of right. Got the Louis Vuitton bag hanging off the shoulder. Use it as a wallet, but I use it as a holster. We live the real GTA without any controllers. We get your team on sight, then I promise you it's over like 12 gauge 9 mil pointing out the rover. You call yourself an angel, take a prayer, this is slaughter. You give one last call to your wife, son, and your daughter. I told you this is Mongol Nation and we taking over like Mongols we ride.